Hello, everyone. My name is Alex, and I am from Juizi, and happy World Plone Day. So today, I am super excited to be here with Talya. She is the Internal Stakeholder Relationships Manager from the Institute of Race Relations here in South Africa. Hi, Talya.
Hi, Alex. It's lovely to be here with you.
It is lovely to see you again. So, Talya has the unique perspective of being somebody who comes from external support to now being internal support for the Institute of Race Relations. So we're going to now talk about your experience, your highs, your lows, the challenges you faced, to sort of see like what is the difference between being external support versus internal support, the pros, the cons, etc. So firstly, let's start with your time at Juizi, right? When were you first introduced to Plone, and what was the experience like?
So I was first introduced to Plone when I started working at Juizi just after I'd finished my studies in September 2021. And I was with Juizi for about I think it was just under 2 years, close to a year and a half. And yeah, so that's when I was first introduced to Plone, and I didn't know anything about Plone beforehand. I also didn't know anything about, web development or anything. I didn't have any experience in that field. I joined on the marketing side. But of course, during my time at Juizi, I was trained on how to use Plone, how to do customer support, and doing content editing on clients' websites. Being at Juizi, I think I really absorbed their enthusiasm for Plone. I mean, they've been working with it for so long, and I really saw how useful it was in terms of security and flexibility for their clients, which is mainly NGOs, organizations that need like large databases of information kept securely. So those were my initial thoughts on Plone. I was really impressed by how well it would fulfill the needs of those clients. But then also, as someone who was working with customer support, I learned quite quickly how to use it. So it was quite easy for me, as someone who didn't have any web development experience, to learn how to edit things on the websites of the clients. So I pretty soon got very comfortable with that.
Yeah, I think the thing that I always get told is Plone is super easy for the editor, not so easy for the backend developer. And when I was first introduced to Plone as well, the front end is so freaking cool. Okay, so now what was it like being external support, helping organizations like the Institute for Race Relations? I was going to go with IRR there, with their Plone website.
So obviously from the Juizi side, I was doing some, external support for organizations like the IRR. And it was very important then that somebody internal at the IRR was able to tell me exactly what I needed to do, what copy I needed to put in every field, and also provide me with any images, explain exactly where they needed to go, and all of that. With a client like the IRR, for which there was quite a lot of support, that was but there was a nice system in place. So the person sending through the things that needed to be uploaded onto the website or needed to be edited knew exactly what to give to me so that I could do what they wanted me to do. However, that wasn't always the case. And sometimes if things need to happen quickly, then, things fall through the cracks. And then I obviously, as an external service provider, cannot take the initiative to, like, for example, come up with a description or a title of a piece of content.
Yeah.
I didn't have, that was not my place. So then there was more back and forth that kind of dragged out the whole process, made everything take a little bit longer to get to where they wanted to be in terms of having the content on their website. So that was pretty much the most frustrating thing, I think.
Okay, cool. And I share those frustrations because I think I've been in your shoes on this side as external support as well, where that you notice something, but you have to get clarification if it's supposed to be like that, if it needs to change. So there's a back and forth. So being on the outside, often you're like, wish I could just go in and make some changes, but naturally we can't. As you said, it's not our place.
Yes, exactly. And also, I mean, especially if you're thinking about something like a typo or a link that maybe doesn't work or something like that you're not sure of, that always needs to go back to the person from the client that you're communicating with. So it really just drags everything out.
Exactly. Okay, so now that you're at the IRR, you're on the inside. How has that changed the way that you work with Plone? How has that changed some of your frustrations? How has it been?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, I do have a bit of a unique perspective, having gone from, the IRR was a client for a company that I worked for, and now I'm with the IRR internally. And it was very empowering for me, having known how to use Plone already to make changes on the website. Whenever we needed to upload something. So what I normally do is, I will upload publications onto the website. So these are reports that we publish on a kind of a periodic basis. They're kind of the groundwork of our work, basically. They're like the core of our work. And it's very important that they are on the website, that they are accessible, and that they are correct. So it helps to have someone internally who knows exactly what is needed, that can just go and upload the stuff. And also, for example, we develop a lot of copy for the promotion of our papers that go in various different places. And there's not always thought given to the copy that would then go onto the website. But I, as someone who has access to all of the copy that's written about it, who's read the paper, who understands the paper as an internal person from the IRR, I can actually write that copy and make any edits that I need to make. And if I make a typo, I can go in and fix it. If there's a mistake somewhere, I can go in and fix it. I don't need to communicate with anyone else on the outside. Also, we often release other things that have to link to these papers. So if there is an issue with a link or whatever, then I can go and fix that quite easily. Another thing that I also did was, I was part of a project to re-tag all our publications to make them easier for the people browsing our website to get to the things that they want, the information that they want. And that was very useful, that I could go in and tag those all myself, because I could read the description of the paper, or even read the paper if I needed to, and understand which topic tag would then go with that publication. And we couldn't obviously expect anyone external to do that, because they don't know our work like we do.
Exactly. So would you say like going from external to internal, you have a lot more autonomy, you feel more empowered?
Oh, for sure, absolutely. And it's also because it's also something that I do quite often, very often. Um, I feel very comfortable with it, and then also if something needs to be changed, I feel comfortable to, or if something needs to be done a little bit more unusually, I do feel comfortable to try it, having that experience that I gained at Juizi. So
Yeah. That's so cool, especially because one of the things that Carl loves to say is you can't break it. So play around, figure it out, and do your worst. It's not a challenge to break it, but but you won't break it. Yeah.
yeah,
So
exactly. Just even this past week, I tried to do something that was a little bit outside of the normal content editing, and I had to then email Carl. It's very nice to actually to still have, the contact with Juicy, so that if there's something that's a bit out of my wheelhouse, you guys can sort it out. That literally happened, like, I think earlier today, Carl fixed it. So
all right. Thank you so much, Talya. It's been so awesome chatting to you and also getting your insights from being external, now being internal, and the power that is Plone. So thank you so much for that. So happy Plone Day, or happy World Plone Day to everyone, and chat soon.
thanks. Happy World Plone Day to you too. And yeah, see you soon.
See you soon. Cheers.
Bye bye.